So did you grow up
Yeah.
here?
I was born here and I lived here till I was around 5. And then my parents split and I ended up living in Sacramento in Northern California. And so I basically grew up with just my mom and my older brother in
Why Sacramento?
That's where she had family ties. At the time, her mother was living there. And so one day my dad came to pick us up from school because it was his weekend, or his week. And the teachers looked at him and said, Colin and Elizabeth haven't been here for weeks. We thought they were home with you or sick or something like that. And so what had happened is my mom had just absconded with us to Northern California.
Oh.
And that's how we ended up there. And
was the divorce not friendly?
No, extremely acrimonious.
At 5 years old, do you remember that tension?
No, I don't. But it's funny. So yesterday was my first day with no longer having anonymity. Yesterday, a People magazine story came out about my family and this mystery at the heart of my book. And I was on KTLA, and it turns out a lot of people watch daytime. And suddenly it felt like I could hear all these conversations of Tom Hanks has a daughter? How do I not know that? It's well, you don't know that because I grew up in Sacramento and I wanted to work for the magazines rather than be in them. One of the pictures that People magazine ran with my permission, because I gave it to them, is the only picture that exists where it's my dad, my older brother, my mother, me, and my stepmother. And it's the only time in my life that I've ever stood with all 3 of my parents and my older brother. It never happened before. It never happened after. And it was at my high school graduation. And at the time, in the photo, you can see my mom's hair is a little crooked because she's dying of cancer. And she's wearing her very best wig to come and put herself in this incredibly vulnerable space. And to be present for me. And the state of my parents' post-divorce relationship is really informed by the fact that my dad is going on to become one of the most famous people on the planet as my mother descends into a mental health state that is unable to keep reality in its own lane. And so it was acrimonious, not because they were fighting over custody or because my mom wanted more, child support. They were fighting because my mom thought my dad had sent the CIA to kill her, which makes things tense.
Wow.
Yeah.